The world of sports entertainment was shaken to its very foundation when the news broke. Hulk Hogan, a name synonymous with professional wrestling and a cultural icon for generations, passed away last month. For millions of fans, the Hulkster was more than just a wrestler. He was a superhero in red and yellow, a larger-than-life personality who taught us to say our prayers and eat our vitamins. His sudden passing left a void that will never be filled, creating a wave of shock and sadness that rippled across the globe. Everyone from seasoned veterans of the ring to the youngest of fans felt the immense weight of this loss, a testament to the incredible impact he had on so many lives. This news was not just sad, it was deeply unsettling for those who had followed his incredible journey. Hulk Hogan had battled giants in the squared circle, faced down insurmountable odds, and always seemed to find a way to come back stronger, flexing his pythons and cupping his ear to the roar of the crowd. He was the embodiment of resilience and strength, a figure who seemed immortal in the eyes of his adoring Hulkamaniacs. The idea that he was gone felt impossible, a storyline twist that no one saw coming and no one wanted to believe. The silence that followed the initial reports was deafening, as a community of fans tried to process the loss of their ultimate hero. The initial reports were sparse, leading to a great deal of confusion and speculation among the public and the media. How could this happen to a man who represented power and vitality for so long? He had overcome numerous health challenges and surgeries over the years, always fighting back with his trademark determination. His passing raised immediate questions, not just about the cause but about the circumstances surrounding his final days. It was a story that felt incomplete, and fans everywhere were desperate for clarity and understanding. The loss of a legend is always difficult, but the mystery surrounding Hogan's death made it even more painful for everyone who looked up to him. As tributes poured in from every corner of the world, from fellow wrestlers to Hollywood stars and world leaders, one thing became clear. Hulk Hogan's legacy was immense. He wasn't just a champion in the ring, he was a global phenomenon who transcended the world of wrestling and became a household name. His influence shaped the very landscape of sports entertainment, paving the way for countless superstars who followed in his footsteps. But as the world mourned, a more complicated and troubling narrative began to emerge, one that suggested this tragic event may have been preventable, shifting the focus from grief to a determined search for the truth. In the wake of this monumental loss, the Clearwater Police Department in Florida officially launched an investigation into the circumstances of Hulk Hogan's death. This was not a standard procedure for a natural passing. It was initiated because serious questions were raised almost immediately about the medical care he had received shortly before he stopped breathing. Authorities confirmed that their inquiry would be thorough and extensive, requiring them to speak with numerous individuals who were with Hogan or involved in his care during his final days. The goal was to piece together a clear timeline of events and determine if any actions or lack thereof contributed to this tragic outcome. The investigation is a complex process, one that involves more than just interviews. Law enforcement officials are tasked with gathering and meticulously reviewing a wide range of medical records from different facilities and practitioners. This is a crucial step in understanding the full scope of Hogan's health situation and the specific procedures he underwent. The police are working to create a complete picture, looking at every detail from the surgery itself to the post-operative care he was receiving. They are leaving no stone unturned in their mission to provide answers not only for his grieving family, but also for the millions of fans who are waiting for justice and closure. One of the key figures in the initial moments of this tragedy was an occupational therapist who was present when Hogan stopped breathing. According to reports, this therapist immediately told the responding officers that they believed Hulk Hogan was a victim of medical malpractice. This powerful statement from a healthcare professional on the scene was a significant catalyst for the formal investigation that followed. It transformed the situation from a private family tragedy into a matter of public concern and legal scrutiny. The therapist's first-hand account provided a critical starting point for the police as they began to unravel the complex events leading to his death. Hogan's widow, Sky Daly, has been thrust into an unimaginable situation, mourning the loss of her husband while simultaneously facing a storm of public and legal questions. She confirmed a key detail that has become central to the entire investigation, that a recent surgery had indeed compromised a critical nerve. Her statement gave weight to the claims being made and highlighted the family's own concerns about the medical treatment he received. As the authorities proceed with their work, interviewing witnesses and collecting evidence, the world watches and waits, hoping that the truth will ultimately come to light and provide some measure of peace for all those affected by this devastating loss. The central focus of the police investigation revolves around serious and specific allegations of medical malpractice. The claim, first voiced by the occupational therapist at the scene, is that a surgeon made a critical error during a recent operation. This alleged mistake involved the severing of Hulk Hogan's phrenic nerve, a crucial component of the nervous system that plays a vital role in controlling the diaphragm and, consequently, the ability to breathe. Such an injury can have catastrophic consequences, and it is this specific medical event that authorities are now scrutinizing as a potential cause of his death. The idea that a routine procedure could go so wrong is deeply disturbing. Hogan's widow, Sky Daly, has publicly corroborated this part of the story, lending credibility to the claims. She confirmed that his phrenic nerve was indeed compromised during the surgery, a fact that undoubtedly guided the family's understanding of what happened. Her statement transforms the allegation from a third-party claim into a direct concern from the family itself. This alignment between the family's statements and the initial report from the therapist has created a powerful narrative that investigators cannot ignore. The focus is now squarely on the surgeon and the medical facility where the operation took place, as everyone seeks to understand how such a severe complication could have occurred. To determine the validity of these claims, a full autopsy was performed. The results of this examination will be one of the most critical pieces of evidence in the entire investigation. Forensic pathologists will be able to provide definitive information about the state of the phrenic nerve and determine if its damage was consistent with a surgical error. The findings from the autopsy will either support the allegations of malpractice or point toward a different cause of death entirely. This scientific evidence is essential for the police to move forward, providing an objective foundation upon which they can build their case and seek accountability if it is warranted. The allegations have sent shockwaves through the medical and wrestling communities alike. For fans, it's a horrifying thought that the man who seemed invincible could have had his life cut short, not by a powerful opponent in the ring, but by a potential mistake in an operating room. This story has highlighted the vulnerability that exists for everyone, even our greatest heroes. It underscores the immense trust we place in medical professionals, and the devastating consequences when that trust is broken. The entire wrestling world is now holding its breath, waiting for the official findings that will hopefully explain what really happened to the immortal Hulk Hogan. The outcome of this investigation is about more than just determining a medical cause of death. It is about protecting and honoring the legacy of Hulk Hogan. For decades, he was the ultimate symbol of fighting for what is right. He told millions of kids to train, say their prayers, and take their vitamins, embodying a positive and powerful message. If his life was ended due to negligence, then seeking justice is the final, most important fight to be waged in his name. It ensures that his story does not end with a question mark, but with a definitive statement about accountability and truth. Principles that the Hulkster himself championed throughout his legendary career. This story matters deeply to wrestling fans everywhere because Hulk Hogan was the foundation upon which modern sports entertainment was built. He was the main event, the top attraction, and the reason many of us fell in love with this business in the first place. His passing is the end of an era, and fans deserve to know the full story. Closure is not just for his family, it is for every person who ever bought a ticket, wore a yellow t-shirt, or ripped their own shirt in their living room pretending to be him. Understanding what happened is a way for the community to properly mourn and pay tribute to the man who gave them so many unforgettable memories. The search for answers is also a reminder of the human being behind the iconic persona. While we knew him as the larger-than-life Hulk Hogan, he was also Terry Bollea, a man who faced real-world struggles and put his body on the line for our entertainment. This investigation brings his humanity into sharp focus, reminding us that even the strongest among us are vulnerable. It is a sobering lesson that connects his story to our own lives, emphasizing the importance of diligence and care in every profession, especially medicine. Finding the truth is a matter of respect for the man, not just the myth, and for the sacrifices he made over a lifetime. Ultimately, as the investigation continues, the world waits. We wait for the police to finish their work, for the autopsy results to be made public, and for the full story to finally be told. The legacy of Hulk Hogan is already immortalized in the annals of wrestling history, but the final chapter is still being written. Securing justice would be a fitting tribute, ensuring that the man who defined an entire industry is remembered not only for his incredible strength in the ring, but also for the unyielding pursuit of truth that followed his tragic and untimely passing. What's going to happen when the truth runs wild on you? We will find out.